Hello Internet, Yulia speaking, and today I'm having a bit of a freak out, specifically a book freak out. So I guess we're doing the mid-year book freak out tag. So we're starting off with the best book that I've read in 2018 so far. You know, starting off with a bit of positivity. And this one for me was kind of hard to decide because I enjoyed the whole series very much. So for me, that would be the Dark Elements series, which was a completely out of nowhere decision. I didn't own the books. I don't even know if they were on my TBR really, but basically I just stumbled across them and I read them and I kind of fell in love very quickly with the humor and the story, and it's honestly super fun. The series focuses on this girl who is half demon, half warden, and wardens are like sort of angel relations that are now on Earth and is sometimes in the form of gargoyles. Anyway, it's a bit complicated, but my favorite part was that it gave me kind of Hush Hush vibes and the same kind of, you know, sarcastic, witty dialogue and just lots of fun and adventures and romance, and I enjoyed myself immensely. Anyways, next question. Best sequel I've read so far is probably Beautiful Stranger, because I was not expecting to pick up the sequel. I feel like generally I'm the sort of person that if I start a series, I will definitely follow through and read the entire series, even if it takes me many years to do so, as has happened previously. But with romance and kind of erotica, new adult, whatever, generally I just read the first book whenever I'm in the mood for it, and then kind of either not really look at the others or not feel like it's necessary to keep reading, especially because generally the point of views change and you move on to the story of like the side characters of the first book or something, which is what happened here, but it just kept adding to the dynamic of the first book. So like there were two people in that one that were falling in love, and then in the next one it was like their friends, and then it just kind of kept going, and the group itself is so hilarious. I completely was taken from like at the very first page, and it's probably one of my favorite series now. A new release that I haven't read yet but want to was kind of hard to decide on because I don't normally read many things that are coming out right now, especially with series, because I hate doing that because that's happened before and the whole wait thing is just not my cup of tea. So I actually managed to find a book that I was anticipating, and it's not a series. It's called Chemistry Lessons, and I was going to read it actually the month that it came out, but I just couldn't find it anywhere, and I didn't really have the opportunity to like buy it online and have it delivered, so I will want to get to that one, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. Now, new releases for the second half of the year is also a similarly difficult question because, again, most of the stuff on my TBR that's coming out towards the end of this year is sequels of stuff that I haven't read the first book yet, so that's a bit of an issue. But I did manage to find something that I'm anticipating, even though I could technically read it now. Basically, I really want to read Check Please in the like printed copy that they're releasing this September, I believe, and could technically just go online and read the webcomic because it is free and I'm pretty sure it's all like up completely, but I just kind of, I want the book because it looks really cute, and I have nothing against webcomics and like I read in that format all the time, but for some reason this one, like because it is actually printed, I do want it printed. My biggest disappointment in terms of books this year is Beauty from Pain. It was just a steamy romance, but it went to the point where like the steaminess wasn't that great, and there was also lack of plot, so I couldn't really justify the lack of plot by the steaminess, and that kind of really ruined everything for me in that series. It is a series, and I will probably continue it just because it ended on a non-ending, and I need to know what happens, even though I was very disappointed. But maybe it'll become better. Who knows? In contrast, my biggest surprise was the Beautiful Bastard series, which literally the same genre, but this one was so well done. And it, as I said before, because I've already mentioned it, it's literally a new favorite series. Please check it out if it's your sort of genre. Favorite new author is also a bit of a hard one because I'm not the type of person that really looks at the authors when I'm reading the book. Not because I'm like separating art from the artist necessarily, but just because I'm not particularly interested in the person. Normally, I just want to know the story. So when I was looking to answer this question, I just looked through the authors that I've read so far, and I came across Casey West, and I realized that I actually had a ton of her books on my TBR pile, and the one that I read this year was The Fill-In Boyfriend, which I loved. It was so cute and adorable, and definitely a favorite of mine. So I guess that's my new author favorite. New fictional crush. Here's something else about me. I don't like to have that sort of crush because I feel like the person is taken. Like it's not the fictional part that I don't like because I'm fully into that story. It's just more like I have OTPs rather than shipping myself with the character because I'm just not like present in the story in my head. But if not for this, I would probably be crushing on either Roth from the Dark Elements series, because he has that bad boy, sarcastic, witty, but also caring vibe that I literally can't escape. Or it would have to be Hayden from The Fill-In Boyfriend, who is just really cute and adorable and funny and made me laugh all the time. So yeah, those two. Newest favorite character, I don't feel like I have an actual favorite character. I do know that I liked Layla from the Dark Elements, and I really liked Sarah from the Beautiful Bastard series, but I don't feel like I can say that they're favorites of mine, but I suppose they kind of come close. Books that made me cry. I didn't really read anything that sad so far this year. Mostly I did a bit of like fantasy and YA in the beginning, and then kind of went straight to the contemporaries for the rest of the year. Maybe Emerald Green. I think in that finale I may have shed a tear, but it was not extensive. Books that made me happy. I feel like the majority of the stuff I read so far has made me happy. Well, obviously, like, Dark Elements and Fill-In Boyfriend are, like, the funniest and, like, cutest in that kind of making me happy way. Beautiful Bastard also made me really happy. I mean, the Precious Stone trilogy also made me happy. I feel like generally most of the stuff that I've read so far has made me really happy, which is really good. Favorite book to film adaptation. So I've only had 2 of those this year. I read the Precious Stone trilogy, and then I watched the German movies dubbed. And I read Ready Player One, and then I watched the new movie that came out this year. And since Ready Player One, the movie, was such a disappointment to me, it has to go to the Precious Stone trilogy, even though some bits in the movies were kind of messing up and getting everything kind of confused. But I feel like overall it was just so much more similar to the books, I guess. Like even just the vibe of everything, whereas Ready Player One just drastically changed everything. But yeah. Favorite review or favorite video? Well, favorite video is not a book-related one, But my favorite one that I've done so far this year is my summer anticipated movies, which you can check out somewhere on the top if you wish, because I put a lot of effort into editing that one. But book-related one, you know, to be honest, I don't feel like there is a book-related video that I've really loved so far, so maybe I should just work on that for the rest of the year. Most beautiful book that I've bought or received this year has to be Percy Jackson and the Greek Gods, you know, the really big one. Here's a picture here. I don't have it with me because I'm currently not at uni, and that's where I left the book in storage because it's big, bulky, and heavy, and I did not want to put it in my suitcase. But it is gorgeous and hilarious as usual, as you would expect from anything Rick Riordan. But in addition to that, it's got these beautiful illustrations every few pages, or once a chapter, or something like that. That was definitely the most beautiful one I've got so far. And finally, what do I need to get to by the end of the year? I feel like this year I need to just finish all the stuff that I started, because my currently reading list is literally full of books that I read the first couple and haven't continued the series or something like that. So I want to get through the Lorien Legacies, which I've been stuck on for literally years now. I also really want to finish Harry Potter because I feel like it's time. It's been way overdue, and I'm stuck in the middle now, and I do not want a repeat of how I was stuck on Lorien Legacies. Then I need to finish the Gospel of Loki, and then a couple others on my TBR are the Heir Chronicles, which I started the first book and left it somewhere, and then Throne of Glass is finally coming to a conclusion this year. I believe sometime in October the last book is coming out, and since I've been delaying finishing the series until all the books are out, it's like perfect timing to finish them because it's not long to wait now. And finally, I've got a Max Fry book, which is this one. It's really pretty, and the stories are interesting because it's a bunch of short stories in here, and it's been taking me so long to get through them because every time the story finishes, I'm just kind of like, okay, cool, I'll pick this up again in a little bit, because it's not like one continuous story, so I feel like I keep pausing after each one ends, and that is making the reading process very slow. Basically, that's it for my mid-year book freakout or whatever. I feel calmer. I've set some goals. I can do this. Like and subscribe and all of that good stuff if you enjoy it and if you want to see more. In the near future, I will see you again. End of rant.